In the news today, a federal report warns of a bleak future as Canada faces economic meltdown. That's right. We're looking at this. A federal think tank is warning that Canada could face a dramatic social and economic breakdown within 15 years, including mass emigration, that's people leaving the country, by wage earners, a surge in mental health crisis, a widespread illegal hunting for food among the poor. Who's this federal think tank? It's a division of the Privy Council. That's right. This is the council of the Prime Minister's office. Ladies and gents, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Clyde, and this is the show. Welcome aboard. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we'll fill you in every morning on a lot of these stories. Now, I try not to make things too bleak. I try not to go too down that black pill. But right now, the economic situation in Canada is not looking too good. It is not looking good. And I'm not the only one saying bad things about the economic system in Canada. It turns out that even the Prime Minister's Privy Council is saying, we got to fix this. We got to do something about it. And let me tell you, it doesn't look like Carney as a prime minister will do anything in the right direction. It looks like he's going to go more in the direction that Trudeau was going, with largely the same people behind him as Trudeau had behind him. But here's the story today. Blacklock's reporter saying Privy Council predicts that Canada in 15 years will become a Dickensian wasteland where wage earners flee. This is the emigration, people leaving the country. The poor poach wildlife for food, and homeowners crowd into gated communities. It's plausible, they're saying. Now, I'm going to get into this. Stick around for Mark Carney's response to all of this. But this is Pierre Poilievre, who was asked about this in particular at one of his rallies, one of his many rallies that he's doing right now. Because if you haven't noticed, we're in an election cycle. And if you're not registered to vote and get out there. What are you doing? You've got until Monday. Monday is election day, but there is early voting. You can get out there and do it. I'm personally going to go on election day because I think that there should be one day for the vote, but that's just me. Leave a comment if you think otherwise, or however you think on this whole thing. But let's get into Pierre Poilievre before we get into Carney's response, because this is very important what he has to say here.
And I want to talk about the platform, but just before that, you mentioned about this report out of the Privy Council.
Yeah.
Now, as a crime reporter, if you will, when I hear something like that, I cannot believe what I've heard. And it's such a stark contrast to what you talked about in your platform. But I do want to go back, if you can address that, how that's going to help fix it. But that is the most negative thing in my 40 years in journalism that I've ever heard about Canada. I don't see it too many places in the media, and I think it can't be glossed over. So I'd like to talk about that and how you're going to fix that if you win on next week.
I think you're absolutely right. I am shocked that, this is not an interest group or an opinion columnist or even a think tank that has put out this report. It is not even just a government department. It is the Prime Minister's personal department. I think somebody has to ask Mark Carney, has he seen this report? His department wrote it. And what they are anticipating on the current trajectory is a total meltdown, a societal breakdown in Canada if we stay on the current track. Why this isn't blazing the front pages of every news outlet in the country right now is beyond me. It's just unbelievable. It blows my mind. What they're actually saying is that, I'm just going to read some of these. More people, this is for the future. It's not enough for Mr. Carney to say, oh, well, the last 10 years is in the past, forget about it. Stop bothering me about the past, he will say. This is the predicted future his department foresees for Canada. More people may struggle to afford rent, bills, or groceries. The resulting stress could worsen mental health challenges. This would increase demand on social services. In 2040, upward social mobility is almost unheard of in Canada. Hardly anyone believes that they can build a better life for themselves or their children through their own efforts. Many worry about sliding down the social order. In 2040, owning a home is not a realistic goal for many. Inequality between those who rent and those who own has become a key driver of social, economic, and political conflict. In 2040, pursuing a post-secondary education is no longer considered a reliable path to social mobility. Fewer young people choose post-secondary education, and those who do see it less as a path to a successful career than a way to reinforce their membership in the, quote, elite. That's not my words. That's the government's words. The report paints a terrifying picture of a spiral of economic depression and cost inflation. People may lose faith in the Canadian project, it says. It forecasts that this may trigger people to, quote, emigrate to jurisdictions where they perceive upward social mobility or other higher standards of living are easier to obtain. If young workers leave, it may become harder to pay for our social programs for the older people in the country. And then I
just want to throw in there, I want to add this. This isn't a future. This isn't Canada well into the future. This is already happening. And I know this from personal experience because, I mean, look at this situation. He's talking about there's a disparity between the people who rent and the people who are renters. Less than a year ago, I was evicted from my home of 11 years that I was renting for 11 years. Why? Because the landlord wanted to triple the rent, and he couldn't do that while I was living in there. So they kicked me and my family out. So this is because he wanted to make more money. This is the reality of the situation here in Canada. It's happening now, and I'm in a situation where I'm like, well, I can't even afford to live here anymore, and we're making steps to emigrate the country, to leave and move to greener pastures because we can't even afford to live in the town that we're living in. Why not just move to somewhere else where we could afford? So this is not so far away. This is not some extended thing that's way out there. Even though they're saying 15 years, this is happening now. This is largely the case today in Canada.
This last line, it staggers me that because groceries are expected to become so expensive, according to Mr. Carney's top government department, people may start to hunt, fish, and forage on public lands and waterways. Like it is just hard to believe when you read these words that this is about Canada. This is exactly why I'm in politics, to reverse this, to give people back the promise of this country. And we know what to do. We know how to get there. We have to unleash a plan for change, a plan that will cut people's taxes so their hard work pays off, that will remove bureaucracy so we can build over 2 million homes, that will lock up the violent criminals, that will unleash our resources to generate a $500 billion of extra economic growth, that will fund schools and hospitals and opportunity for our people.
And so that's exactly what Pierre Poilievre is doing. He's released a plan that's going to aim to reduce the deficit by 70%, lower income tax by 15%, and build 2.3 million homes. I can't remember. I don't remember the timeline and what it was said on that. But this is essentially, this is how you're going to entice people to stay. By not by taking more of their money away from them, which is the Liberal platform. And what is the Liberal platform right now? It's to increase spending by, they're promising $130 billion in new measures over 4 years, adding $225 billion to the federal debt, which is is the exact opposite of a 70% reduction in the deficit. Now we should get on with fixing the debt, not just the deficit. Let's fix what we've spent so far. This is it. I mean, it's drastic. It's drastic. Now, a report from Trevor Toome came out. He's a leading economist in Canada, one of the top, most well-trusted economists out there. The Liberal platform walks away from the party's own fiscal commitments. This is where they're at. If you thought Trudeau was bad, just wait until you get a load of this guy. Carney is going to be much worse. Now, Carney was, in response to this article, says that Trevor Tombe was wrong. He's got more experience. Let's hear Mark Carney and what he had to say.
So Trevor Tombe is wrong, in your opinion? Yes. I have more experience than he does, and it's important to state that.
Well, let's state what experience Mark Carney has. He has been the Bank of Canada governor, which led to the biggest housing bubble the world has probably ever seen. It was because of the low interest rates and money printing that he did there. He went on to England to become the governor of the Bank of England and did largely the same thing and harmed their economy. So let's talk about experience. Experience in destroying everything that's around you. This guy's Dozer. I mean, he might as well come out as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because he's just destroying everything around him. But I digress. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Barry with CBC. I'd like to follow up on that. Just if you've got an economist like Trevor Tombe saying that your plan is unsustainable, is just that, is there an argument that if Pierre Poilievre is trying to bring down spending, bring down the deficit, that his plan is more fiscally responsible than yours?
Okay. There's one thing that you can write on a paper. There's another thing that will happen in the economy. Okay? So our plan, to be clear, is focused on investment and growing this economy. All of the spending, all of the investment in years 3 and 4 are for growing the economy.
So in other words, you have to just get the economy rolling, and then I don't know, the budgets will balance themselves. Where's he going with this? This sounds a lot like 2015 Justin Trudeau. I guess we're looking at much more of the same, and this is probably why that report came out. This is probably why they're saying that if this is what we're gonna get, is a very bleak future for Canada. It's very bleak indeed. We can't go down this road any further. There's a fork in the road right now, Canada, and we've got a choice. We've got a clear choice, and I'd say get out there, register, make sure you're registered, and vote, because this could be the last time you get a chance to do that. Anyway, I'll leave you with that one. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.